Elden Ring's new DLC, Shadow of the Erdtree, has added tons of new content, and today, I'll be focusing on the new spells. There are two categories of spells in Elden Ring: incants and sorceries. I'll be using both with the goal of beating all 11 major bosses in the DLC. And just to make things interesting, I'll only be allowed to use spells once per major boss. This is because there's some broken new sorceries and incants, and I want to try to use as many as possible, even if they suck. Before we get started, I wanted to say most of my viewers aren't subscribed. It's not a big deal, but I do appreciate it when you sub. So feel free to do that if you want. Alright, onto the video. I start the run on a character that's beat the game at level 150 with an even stat split in faith and intelligence, since I don't know what I'm using yet. I grab the mummy hand and head into my new nightmare. Step 1, I gather some scuba tree fragments before meandering into Castle Insis for my first spell of the run, Glintblade Trio. I then take the secret passage around Castle Innis to the Morth Ruins, where I fall into a hole and find another spell, Golden Arcs. The hole eventually leads me to Bonnie Village, where I get the On Your Knees emote so I can open the top secret passage in Shadowkeep. Having gathered the essentials, I now head to the Catholic Church and speak with the Pope, who gives me a necklace and tells me to go blow some bells. If I want to buy a bunch of the new sorceries in the DLC, I'll have to do what this weirdo says though, since progressing the quest unlocks more of his shop. So I mosey on down to the Cerulean Coast and blow Bell Uno. To get to Beldos, I have to use the side entrance to Shadowkeep, and I decide to drain Mesmer's bathwater while I'm here, because letting it stagnate like this is kinda gross. Now I get to go into the Specimen Storehouse, where I grab the new Fire Serpent spell. And then I find some elevators that take me to a statue that moves when I get on my knees, unlocking the Hinterland area. I wander through here, stopping to grab America's Golden Braid. I'm not gonna use it, I just like how it smells. After some more running, I finally make it to my second blow bell, essentially completing Ymir's quest. I return to the church and exhaust Ymir's dialogue before buying the new Glintstone nails and fleeting microcosm spells from him. Having completed my initial quest, I now make my way down to Bikini Bottom, where I'm surprise attacked by Anna, Simp of the Finger Simp. I could fight her honestly, but instead I decide we should both take a swan dive into the abyss to speed up this battle. Success, great success. All part of the plan. I can now finally face off with my first remembrance boss, Finger Mommy. I set up my character with the Graven Mass and School Talismans, along with the Magic Scorpion Charm to boost my damage, and the Dragon Crest Great Shield for defense. I'm also at a Skidoo Tree Blessing level 12, which is around where I'll be for the whole run. For my spell, I've decided to use the Glintblade Trio, since it casts fast and seems to do decent damage. It also has some crazy range, so I can embrace the time-honored casting strategy of running away like a pansy so the boss can't hit me. It did take me a couple of deaths to figure this strategy out though. I originally tried to fight the boss by dodging her attacks and playing the game, but I forgot I'm a silly wizard and that's not how this works. So I flee and spam funny little blue knives. Fingy Mommy does have some ranged attacks though, so I'm not totally safe. And she summons her babies to chase me around, which make things more complicated, but it ain't really too much to handle. Glintblade Trio is not great compared to base game spells, but the speed and range kind of make that a non-issue. Yeah, I'm pretty fucking far. Oh, you bitch. I forgot to heal. Oh, just get to the sweet spot. This is it. 1, 2, stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Ah! Hey! It only took a bazillion tries. First boss now defeated, I can use her remembrance to get the Staff of the Great Beyond, which casts incants and sorceries, making it pretty useful for this specific run. I want to fight Gaius next, and I have a certain incant in mind. First though, I have to get the Potnit Cookbook 2 and some red mushrooms to make furnace pots. Then I head to the sneaky part of the Skidoo Altus, accessed from Shadowkeep, and use my big pot to activate the Golem, who was blocking the door I needed to go through. In here, there's a chest with a giant golden arc. Beautiful. Time for a little build crafting. I add the Holy Tear to my physics since the giant Holy Arc is gonna do holy damage. A shocking deduction, I know. I also add the Sacred Scorpion Charm and Flock's Canvas Talisman to my build for the same reason. And no lie, I kinda cooked with this. Uncharged attacks do 2,000 damage, which is mathematically a lot. I do feel kind of bad throughout this fight though. At first, I used to get really angry about the hitboxes in this battle, but I've started to have bigger questions. Is the boar a good boy? Does Gaius feed him enough treats? If there was a way for me to make peace, would Torrent and the boar become friends? I don't know the answer to these questions, but they keep me up at night. So, in order to silence the voices, I do a murder. What is happening to my frames, brother? What do you mean that missed? Fuck you. Fuck you. I can dodge that. I know how to dodge that shit. I ain't stupid. I ain't stupid, you're stupid. Oh yeah. Free Skadoosh fragments inbound. I now go to pick up my free Skadoodle fragments, then head to Round Table Hold and get another new spell, Blades of Stone, from Gaius' Remembrance. After that, I head back to the Catholic Church. I forgot to actually finish Ymir's quest earlier, so I'm gonna do that. Unfortunately, I have to actually fight Anna to do this. No Abyss cheese. Glintblade Trio ends up being very useful here. NPCs dodge the actual cast of spells, and since the trio floats in the air and charges up, Anna isn't able to dodge them when they shoot at her, making this easy peasy. Once she dies, Finger Mother 2 Ymir Edition pulls up. I pull out Blades of Stone and it absolutely blasts. I was worried this fight was going to be hard since it was actually kind of annoying on my melee characters, but I had once again forgotten to calculate that I am using spells and they're more broken than my personal relationships. Also, before anyone gets mad about me using the Glintblade Trio in this fight, they're NPCs, so I'm not counting them as bosses. Goodbye. Wow. That was much easier than the first part. Having murdered Second Finger Mom, I now get a new staff that boosts finger sorceries, and also a new finger spell that has magically appeared in the graveyard by the church. Mission completed, I returned to Shadowkeep to finally face off with Mesmer. Or not, that was an awful idea. My spells were doing the damage of an extra soft pillow, so I head to the Scorpion River Catacombs and pick up the Knight's Lightning Spear, one of the best new incants in the DLC, because more damage solves all problems. But just using this would be dumb. I have multiple ways to buff it, so my new mission is to make the lightning OP. I have most of the buffs I need already, but one of the cooler ones is locked behind Bale in the form of the Priestess Heart, which boosts Dragon Cult incantations. So I'm gonna need that. First, I have to go through the Dragon Pit. I found a new skip here where I can leap off the ledge at a higher point. I was hoping this would finally end my feeble existence, but God still doesn't want me, I guess. I bust through the boss door to the Ancient Dragon Man, and I try a few new spells here, but nothing is really working because he's an NPC. So I just go back to Glintblade Trio to abuse his dumb AI, and it works splendidly. I take a healthy stroll up through the jagged peak before I arrive at BAM! I decide to use my new Glintstone Nails with the Fingy Staff in the offhand and the same sorcery build I've been rocking so far. And it's pretty spicy. One of Bale's weak spots is his head. Normally, very annoying to hit because he moves it. But the Glintstone Nails get some sexy range and their tracking turns this issue into not an issue. The hardest part of this fight was really just having only 5 heals, which has been a problem for the whole run. I'm using a lot of magic, so I have most of my flasks tied up as blues. So far, I haven't had to deal with running out of FP since I've done this, but I have died to most of the bosses because I run out of heals. That even happened a few times with Bale, but now that I've gotten back the rhythm of this fight, he's pretty screwed. There's not much else to say here. I'm a wizard demigod fighting a Balrog. We've all seen Lord of the Rings. We all know what happens. Oh? Yeah, that's right. Holy smokes. Why was that easier than fucking everything else so far? Jesus. With the mighty fire demon slain, I traverse to the Dragon Communion place and claim the Priestess Heart. I add the Lightning Scorpion Charm to my build and the Lightning Tear along with the seal that boosts Dragon Cult incantations. To use the Priestess Heart, I have to get butt naked and then I become a dragon for even more damage. And now Mesmer's gonna get worked. Wow. That is way worse damage than I expected. Never mind. That didn't do much for me. I probably could do Mesmer with this build, but he's beaten me once, and I realize I have a better enemy to use this on anyways. Yeah, that's what happened. It's not because I'm scared of fighting Mesmer. So it's off to Castle Insis for me. Rather than showing the boring run through the castle, I shall show you my cat. What a proper lady. Oh, look at that. I'm at Rolana's boss room. I got the same setup as before, so I head in to see if this is a better boss for this spell. And it looks like it is. I initially missed the whole attack, and I'm still pretty happy with how it's doing. But when I do hit the full charged attack, oh yeah, I'm a big fan. I knew this spell was cracked. Not sure why it didn't work on Mesmer, but Rolana is also a hard boss that I'm absolutely cooking, so I'll take it. Surely this hits. Oh, it's so close. Drink. Alright. Chill. Ain't no reason to toss a good run. Bang! Surprise, bitch! Yeah, that's right. After beating Renala with no feat, I go turn her remembrance in at round table for the Twin Moon spell. This is gonna be goated later, but for now it will rot in my inventory. Time for a new victim. I perambulate down south through the Cerulean coast to the crater that killed the dinosaurs. I have a fun time battling my way through here and beating up the snipers. Before I get to the boss, I find Ghost Leonin. I allow him to commit honorable self-delete and acquire yet another new incant, multi-layered Ring of Light. Perfect, that's exactly what I needed. I set up the holy damage build with the dry leaf seal to boost my spell even further. I hop off yet another cliff and still don't die. God, what happened to my classic Elden Ring, where gravity was the greatest enemy? Down here, I find Bone Man and the Slug Horse, and I'm gonna let this fight speak for itself. Those spells are hot water trash. We're about to find out, brother. Let's see. Oh yeah, it's really hot water trash. Yo, chat's never been so wrong in their fucking lives. What about not charged? Still does a fuck ton of damage. Holy shit. Oh my god. This is ridiculous. Hold on. Get him. Goodbye, son. Beep. Oh my god. That one's crazy, dude. Yeah, that's broken. Easy S tier spell. With Come Horse defeated, I grabbed the Vortex of Putrescence from his remembrance. Spoiler alert, this was dog water, and I'm not even gonna show me trying to use it. I also returned to the hole and grabbed the Mass of Putrescence, which you will see used shortly. And by shortly I mean now, against Mesmer, where it was dog water, because it was so slow. I don't know why I keep trying. Let's go do something else. I head back to the secret Skidoo Altus area and go all the way south to the Darklight Catacombs, the path to madness. Instead of lighting up all the lights in here, I whip out my lamp and just bob and weave my way to the end, where I find Jordan the Elder. I decide to continue trying the massive blue fire here, and it's kinda good. Like, the damage is good, but it takes forever to cast. Luckily it has a mortar trajectory, so I can duck behind the graves and lob my spell over them, which is pretty good until the summons show up and make my world a living hell. And it turns out, this is a problem I can't solve as I repeatedly die trying to use this slow ass bomb. Since that didn't work, I decided it's time to pull out the single Glintstone Nail, and this is just a lot better. It's like Glintstone Pebble except on a fully planned regime of steroids. This cute little spell has no reason to do as much damage as it does, but I'll take it. Because I have to spend most of the fight running from the summons, having something with a fast cast time just makes life so much easier. Honestly, this spell feels better than a lot of the other spells I've used so far, which is sort of funny since it seems like the most basic, low-level spell in the DLC, but I guess looks are deceiving. Finish him. Yeah, there it is. Glintstone Nail was the move. Holy shit, that was so much easier. Now I make like Red Riding Hood and wander through the forest all the way to Grandma's house. I parkour my way to my next boss, Midra, and I'm sure this fight will be quick and easy. Oh, too slow. Okay, confession, I died a lot here. I tried many spells, but ended up settling on the Golden Arcs, and once again, the reason for my choice was simple. They're fast. Midra is one of the quicker bosses I've faced up to this point, and I found that I just didn't have time to use a lot of the newer spells in between his attacks. Still, my damage isn't great. It doesn't help that Midra is giga-juiced in the health department. I know I've said it before, but I will never understand why Midra has the most health of any DLC boss. Like, of all the bosses, this is the one that is the most like a regular dude. a regular dude with a miniature sun as a head, but still. Whatever. It is what it is. I have little golden slashies, and this man has the power of chaos. I'm sure it'll be fine. Hey, there it is. Holy shit. Oh my god. Having suffered for way too long at that boss, I decide to get some fresh air, and in doing so commit casual homicide on a bridge for a fire rain spell. Then wander into the Ancient Runes Plague section, where I find the Cumbug Spear spell. I feel like the spears might be useful, so I take them back to Mesmer and decide to give them a try. Wow. Oh no. I have died. Never mind, Mesmer is still the bane of my existence. So, rather than face my demons, I once again run from them. I run all the way to Bellarat, then all the way through Bellarat, to the door of the two furries. The regular Cumbug Blast is best on big enemies, so I figure the new one will also be good on a larger enemy. Brilliant logic, I know. I set up a build with the Winged Sword and Millicent's Prosthesis, since I'm hoping this will count as multiple hits. As well as the Godfrey Icon and Flock's Canvas Talisman, since this is an incant that can be charged. Time to test it out. Alright, see if this is close range enough. Hoy! Okay. No, that's ridiculous. On top of the crazy damage, this spell also has some killer range. Granted, it does about half as much damage at range, but that's still a lot. I'm pretty sure my deduction of the cum spells only being good on large enemies was correct. I'm truly a genius. Just get off a quick one for shits and gigs. Get off a quick one for shits and gigs. Get off another one. Oh my god, I'm cooking. I'm coming. Hey, look at that. Alright. That was actually kind of cracked. I actually really liked that one. I now return to the church, formerly covered in Mesmer's bathwater, and grab the Fire Knight seal to boost my Mesmer flame spells. Then I take the path downward all the way to the Sunflowers Arena. I set up a build with the Flame Tear and Fire Scorpion charm, and head in to give the Rain of Fire spell a try first. Wow, that's dog shit. Alright, let's try the Fire Serpent spell. Much better, thank Christ. I cook phase 1, but in phase 2 I realized I've forgotten something critical. The seal I picked up like 2 minutes ago. Luckily the sunflowers do, so taking hits while equipping stuff really doesn't matter. I finally get hits in with the new seal, and holy fuck is that a lot of damage. I don't know why that made such a difference, but this is so much better. During the next phase transition, I also add the Canvas Talismans to my build, since even more damage will be even more gooder. And it is more damage, but unfortunately the fire tears run out, so because I'm an idiot, we will never know the true power I could have had here. I originally set up my build for the Rain of Fire, okay? I didn't think it was going to be that bad. Goodbye, my son. You fought bravely, except for not at all and you kinda suck. With that, there is now only the main line of bosses left for me to face. I'm gonna have to finally face my demon. But in the amount of time I've managed to avoid Mesmer, I've actually come up with a plan. First, I respec at Rennala into 80 intelligence, so Lucid Staff will be OP. Next, I head to the place with the red flowers and collect rings of spectral light. Third, set up a magic damage build and offhand the Prince of Death's staff to further boost my rings damage. Was it worth it? Yes. Yes, it was. I finally found a spell with a good damage and speed combo for Mesmer. This spell also does 15 frost buildup per projectile, which is another point in its favor for this particular fight. I'm also not really sure how to explain this, but if I was rating spells based on how they feel, this would be number 1. I don't know why the casting and hitting feels so satisfying on this, but it just does. There's something about all the little discs zooming at America's least favorite child that just vastly increases the dopamine in my tiny little peanut brain. Also, I didn't realize this till phase 2, but this has dummy range with no damage drop off. Look at those numbers. That's it, boys. I'm officially wet. S tier spell, don't at me. Oh my god. Clutch Daddy Poppy. This might be it. Right here. Get him. Get him. Get him, little discuses. Go! Yes! Oh my god. Hell yeah, dude. Rings of Spectral Light might be S tier. Those things are fucking good. Having finally defeated Mesmer, I can now head to Romania. But first, I'm gonna need some fire spells. I acquire Midra's and Mesmer's balls from their remembrances at Round Table. Then head back to the Dragon Communicator to get Bale's Flame Lightning. I have to respec into a Faith and Arcane build to use these. Then I set up a fire damage build before finally heading in to give Romania the beating of a lifetime. Or not. These spells are all super slow. Midra's Nut actually sucks, but Mesmer's Orb and Bale's attacks do good damage, so if I get more damage, it should work. I head back to the base game and grab Flame Grant Me Strength and Golden Vow. A little buffing routine should make this a lot better. I return to the Church of Kush, cast my buffs, and head in to see what I can do. Nah, that should be serviceable. Mesmer's Orb is actually cracked out of its mind. I hit it again immediately, and like, Romania's already at half health, and it's been like 10 seconds. I cast it one more time, because why not, and the fight is already over. However, I do want to try Bale's Flame Lightning again. This spell has some of the most insane hyper armor I've ever seen. I don't know what needs to hit you to knock you out of this, but it's gotta be something huge. I'm going in, boys! I'm going for it! Yes! More damage, more gooder. It's so good. Alright, I had to use a bunch of spells there, but it was worth it. I can't wait to get the fucking YouTube comment that's like, Ratty, the buffs aren't actually from the DLC, sir. Excuse me, run invalid. Suck my dick. I agree with past Ratty. Dude just made an excellent point. I now commit a light case of Divine Arson to access the final area of the DLC near Elam. I go ahead and blast my way through here, one-shotting enemies with the Knight's Lightning, before arriving at the worst fight in the game, NPC Gank TM. I, however, have a plan. First, I respec at Renala into a full sorcery build with 80 intelligence. Then, I set up my usual magic damage build and head in with Rolana's Twin Moons, if you know what I mean. But no, this spell is a straight NPC abuser. The first two Moon Slams stagger them, and the third one sends them straight into the air and onto their ass. This is absolutely broken for this fight, and I am perfectly content to use it. The NPC gank has to be my bottom 5 least favorite thing in this game, right between Gravity and Godskin Duo. Luckily, like with Foreskin Duo, I have found some cheese for this fight, so it ain't that bad. There we go. Hey, I thought she got out of it. I was about to be so annoyed. Sick. Alright, now we need to go find the Radon spell and we're done. With that, I have arrived at the final boss. And if you've been paying attention, you know exactly what spell I'm going to get. Shadow of the Erdtree added what is unquestionably one of the most broken sorceries in the entirety of Elden Ring, Impenetrable Thorns. This is a thorn spell that does magic damage, so I equip Staff of the Guilty and the Alberic armor set, which boost thorn sorceries, as well as my usual sorcery boosting talismans and tears. Time for the easiest fight of this run. Oh yeah. Look at that damage. Surely I can't screw this up. Fuck! Shit! Balls! No, 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 no. What am I doing? How am I this fucking ass? God damn it! Okay. There may have been some user error involved in this run. Deep breath. We go again. I think you have time right here. I don't like how it does 3,000 damage and then like 10,000 damage. Just do 10, please. Please. Do 10. Close enough. All right, now we do this. All right, this is 10,000 damage right here. This is 10,000. Oh my god. We do it right here. This is it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Dodge. Dodge. R1. Oh, yeah! There we go. God damn. That was a lot easier than I made it look. See, it takes a really skilled player to make an easy challenge look hard. And that's what it looks like to beat all of Elden Ring's DLC with just the new spells. If you liked that video, check out my Light Greatswords video. YouTube got mad about some of the music I used in it, so I had to re-upload it, and it's been getting kinda shafted by the algorithm ever since. So if you're still listening to me ramble, please go watch that video. It needs help. Otherwise, until next time, be good, be kind. Adios.